Welcome to the OMG Show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the OMG Show. Today, I want to talk to you about three things that are super important to me, and I want to give you kind of a different perspective of how to look at your business through these three different lenses. And so the lenses that I want to talk to you about are, number one, traffic, number two, conversion, and number three, subscription. Because I've identified that these are kind of three main choking points in a business. Okay, so typically what ends up happening in kind of like the entrepreneur life cycle that I tend to work with is that, either A, someone has an idea, but they don't have the systems in place to make sure that that idea runs, or B, they have a system, but the system isn't really working out for them. So let's kind of go through those both examples, and then we'll figure out kind of where you fit into this. So first things first, if you just have an idea but you have no systems, you're kind of at an advantage because you can truly figure out what is happening within the market and kind of cherry pick what you like, what you don't like, and then kind of create your Frankenstein business in a sense based on that, and then obviously add your own unique spin to it to make it truly yours, truly unique, and provide a new opportunity. Okay, so typically from that point, what ends up happening is that you start getting ideas for something you want to create and offer. All right. So you put that system in place, right? You think that, I'm going to go study some digital marketing. Everyone talks about, let's make a sales funnel. So you build your sales funnel, right? You have your lead and magnet, and you have your entry level offer. You might have an order bump, an upsell, maybe even a second upsell, right? So that's a typical sales funnel. So you put that system in place, and then you realize, okay, now that I have this process, how do I get people to see it, right? How do I get people to interact, to engage with my sales funnel so I can start generating some income? And most people, their first answer is Facebook ads, okay? Because they want to drive traffic. So, unless you're going the traditional route of like organic content and doing blog posts and content marketing, which I recommend you do, most people tend to, let's go with Facebook ads and see if we can do that. So you end up finding someone who can help you with your Facebook ads. And typically these people are only responsible for driving traffic. So, you engage with them and you come up with this, traffic plan, this traffic strategy. You're going to run these ads at this amount, and we're going to drive traffic to the sales funnel that you've built out. Okay. So, what ends up happening? Well, the person is driving traffic and you're sending all this traffic, but it's not converting, right? So now Facebook person is now an expense to the business, and you're going to cut that person off first because you need to fix your funnel. Okay. The problem with that is that you don't necessarily know if the changes you're making to your funnel are working or not because you've cut off the traffic element to it, right? And you need traffic to constantly be sent to your funnel in order to see where your sales funnel is converting at. So that's why when I typically deal with people, it's like, hey, Oscar, I need you to help me with Facebook ads. Okay, well, let's talk to your entire process because it makes no sense to drive traffic to a sales funnel that isn't converting. And you don't understand if the funnel is converting unless you drive traffic. Okay, so it's kind of like this circle of hell, if you will, where it's kind of like what came first, the chicken or the egg. So, that's example one. The other example is, let's say you already have a system in place, right? And you're not too happy with their results. Then the idea is, okay, well, how do we increase our conversions? Okay, but in the same sense, whether you're person A or person B, you're still part of that circle of hell in terms of figuring out how do I drive traffic to my offer and how do I convert this offer? Okay, and the double-edged sword is that in order to figure out your conversion rates, you need to drive traffic. Okay, but you want to make sure that you're driving traffic to something that's converting. So what do you do? How do we handle that situation? Okay, well, you have to understand that whenever you're doing paid traffic, it's always an investment. Okay, especially the first 1 to 2 weeks that you're doing it. You're probably going to lose that money. To be 100% honest with you, you're probably going to be losing that money because you're testing different audiences, you're testing ad copy, you're testing images, you're testing different things that are influencing the market, and you're trying to figure out what is really the angle that's enticing the market to click and go through your entire funnel. You're also measuring what your opt-in page is converting at, what your sales page is converting at, what your order bump take rate is, all those different things down the line. Now, ideally, you want to have a sales funnel in place where you're paying for leads, it's break even, and you're covering your customer acquisition costs. Okay. So, what does that mean? Well, let's say your customer acquisition cost is $50. So in order for you to acquire a customer, you have to spend $50. Well, ideally your sales funnel, the product offering you have in place, can handle the $50 customer acquisition cost. Okay. You always want to have your what I'll call it the average order value. So for example, let's say you have 3 products, you have the initial product and then 2 upsells, and they're all priced at, $100, and 100 people go through them and all 100 buy. Your average order value is 300, right? Because they all bought the 3 different products at $100. That's the average order value, right? So you want to make sure that the average order value is always higher than your customer acquisition cost. Otherwise, you're going to be in the red pretty quickly. Okay. And if you're at break even, that means you're getting leads for free. It means you're getting customers for free. Okay. You may not be making profit, but you're at least building your list. You're building your customer base. Okay. Which is important because you can always extend that lifetime value, which I'll talk about in a moment with subscriptions. But you want to make sure that your sales conversion, your sales funnel, has the offerings in place in order for you to be able to pay for your lead generation and or your customer acquisition. Okay, and again, you need to have the traffic element and the conversion element there. Okay, but the conversion element needs the traffic. Okay, so you don't necessarily need a nice converting funnel to drive traffic to, because you can drive traffic. Driving traffic is fairly easy to do. Okay, it's probably why 90% of people have a conversion problem, not necessarily a traffic problem. The only reason why I'm bringing these 2 topics up is because if you're paying for that traffic, then it should produce an ROI for you. Okay, at minimum break even. If you're not producing at least a break even, then we're going to get into subscriptions, because you might want to take a loss in the beginning if you're going to be recouping that investment 6 to 8 months down the line. And so before I get into subscriptions, ideally what you want to have is a sales funnel that you can send to, and you're making 10,000, 20,000, 30, 40, whatever you want per month. But the issue with these types of sales funnels is that every month you're starting back from zero. So theoretically, right down, let's think long term. If you're advertising to the same interests over and over again, at a certain point, you're going to be tapping out those interests, those resources. And so your customer, your cost per click is going to be going up, your cost per lead, your cost per reach. You're slowly going to start to see your numbers go up and up because you've tapped out that resource. Okay. So when you have a self-liquidating funnel that sells like a one-off product, which most people have, if you sell courses, if you sell e-commerce products, things like that, at a certain point, you're going to reach that. Okay. It may not happen today, and it may not happen tomorrow. It may not happen for 5 years. I mean, I've had an ad going to the same interest for 3 years and it's still kicking butt. So it really just depends. But at a certain point, you're going to be tapping out those resources. So that's when subscriptions come into play, because subscriptions allow you to make that recurring revenue. Okay. So you want recurring revenue in your business where, let's say you're making 30K, you can pretty much predict that the following month you're going to be making that 30K again. Obviously you have retention and churn and those kind of factors to think about as well, but it's a much more sustainable business. However, it is harder to sell. Okay. But if you have both, if you have a self-liquidating funnel and on top of that, a subscription funnel, you've really set yourself up for success, because now you can drive traffic to a sales funnel that's converting in a way that that you're paying for your leads and you're paying for your customers. And now you have predictability and sustainability with the subscription model. So when you're looking at your business and you're looking to bring on different people that can help you with your business, you have to think about, okay, well, this traffic person is a cost now, but this person is an investment, because what they're doing is going to help me understand my offering and making sure that my offering is what the market needs, is what the market wants. So I can adjust my sales page. I can split test different things. I can position upsells differently, X, Y, and Z. So this person, this traffic person, is an investment. The ad cost that you're spending is an investment. Okay. But then you need someone to focus on the conversions. This might be you. This might be, let's say you hire a marketing consultant, funnel strategist, et cetera, et cetera. This person is making sure that whatever traffic is being sent to this funnel is making sure that it's working, that it's moving people through, that people are buying. Because that way, now rather than having this person be an expense, now they're an asset. Okay. And then down the line, you want to make sure you have a subscription-based portion to your business so you can add some predictability and sustainability as you continue to move forward. And at that point, you can afford to lose in the traffic game, because if you know that your customers are the lifetime value of that is 600, I mean, you can do a lot with your ads. Okay. There's 3 different types of ad mentalities, right? So most people, they're like, hey, I want to break even. That's the first ad mentality. The second mentality is I want the 2-to-1 return, right? So whatever money I put in, I want to make sure that dollar brings back some friends. But the third mentality is more the investment of saying, you know what, I'm willing to take a loss now, but I know in 6 to 8 months, that loss is going to provide a big return for me. Okay. And most people aren't there yet. Most people don't get there because they're focused on either, mindset 1 or 2, and they're trying to figure out how to get to mindset 3. So wherever you are in your business today, understand that you need both the traffic and the conversion side of it. Okay. And once you've, maintained a funnel that can pay for its leads and pay for your customer acquisition, then start thinking about a subscription-based business and how you can add that element to your business so you can have that sustainability and predictability. All right. So that's it. So Happy New Year. Think about those 3 things for your business. And if you ever have any questions, please make sure to reach out. Thanks so much for listening to the OMG Show. See you tomorrow.